What is up, haters of Reddit and fans of Lord of the Rings? We're playing the Palantir of Sauron today with Aragorn. This can be a pain in the ass, so this is why I made a video walkthrough on it. Sorry about that pause. I have to pause a bit. I do pause here to get a drink of water, and I do pause later on to get another drink of water. I've been playing this. I must have played this like 15 times today, and this must be the 16th attempt. It's difficult. Round 1, speed attacks with Aragorn. Pretty self-explanatory. Round 2, same idea. Now, these Easterlings are a little bit more nimble than the little orcs, okay? So just be careful that they don't surround you. If they surround you, it is possible that they can actually hurt you. So don't underestimate these guys. They're sneaky, deaky. Thank you all for, again, watching my videos and liking them, for those that do like them. And for those haters, well, thank you as well. Each time you dislike it, it draws more attention to the video. And that just means more people who like this game do get to watch these video games, do get to watch these walkthroughs. And sorry, I do have to pause again, and there I took another drink of water. This does get exhausting after you record many times. Round 3, now you have a combination of the two. Just use your speed attacks, chain them up, use your swift justice. At this point, you're it seems redundant to say, but don't go into a Palantir of Sauron, without a fully upgraded character. I think you might be able to beat Palantir of Saruman with a character that's not 100% upgraded, but definitely not Sauron. You want to make sure your character is at his best. Too bad we can't play as Eowyn in this. You could play as Eowyn in the GBA version, the Game Boy version of, I think, either this game or the, maybe the version of this game, I think. Or was it Two Towers? They're pretty fun too, the Game Boy Advance games. So if you can get your hands on a Game Boy Advance or get yourself a Virtual Boy Advance, it's totally free to play online. Even this game, I managed to find it online somewhere. It's Steam Unleashed, Unlocked, Steam Unlocked, or Steam Unleashed. Just Google that and then Google Return of the King. You could straight up download it and play it. Now, I do own the original discs when I bought them used in 2006. This was a 2003 game. Somebody decided to sell this for about $5 at an EA Games, and we bought it. We bought the 3 discs or 4 discs to install this, and then we needed to get the CD key, which didn't come with the discs that we bought for a reduced price. And the bundle that day was $20, so you could get this and then a few EA Sports games and something else. And I think of FPS as well. Back when EA Games didn't have any microtransactions. Anyways, round 4 and round 5 archers. Do what I do here. It's a bit tricky, and I would say it's almost inevitable that you will take some damage. What you want to do is strafe and just keep moving. And as Aragorn, he has a long-ranged melee attack. His long sword has a good swipe. You don't need to get right up to the other characters like you do with someone like Legolas. Aragorn, you could kind of just sweep them. So do that. It's very powerful. His speed attack's very powerful. Sweep the archers. You'll take some damage, and parry in between. Usually in the beginning, I like to do a parry first to get myself in perfect mode. Occasionally, if you want to preemptively take out some of the enemies with your arrows, bow and arrow, do so from a distance. Shoot one only. Don't get greedy. Don't try to kill 2. kill one and then parry or run away from the volley of arrows and then kill another one, as I'm doing here. This minimizes your damage and maximizes your kills. This is a really frustrating but challenging and also kind of fun. The fun is in the challenge. It's like beating Halo on Legendary or something. You know, really tests your skills. And save the health potions. You see, I've saved the 3 of them. Okay, in my opinion, the hardest is after the hardest section of this entire game is right here around. Not this wave, but these waves are challenging. The archer waves are very challenging. It's like a rhythm game. You have to time it. And there, I accidentally grabbed both arrows. I do this every time. It sucks. I just want 1 arrow. What a waste of arrows. Anyways, as Aragorn, you won't use them too much anyways, but as Legolas, you might. Okay, so, but this is an Aragorn walkthrough. With the shield enemies, I kind of like to run a bit and let them chase me. And when they chase me, I hold my fierce attack button to charge that flaming sword attack, and it breaks the shields, which is a good way to do it. Now, these Urukai, shielded Urukai, can be quite aggressive, and just be careful that you don't get hit. I do get hit, and of course this is not the most stellar gameplay, but I do complete the Palantir. There are definitely gamers who have mastered this and done very well. I am not one of them. I do a fairly okay job. I'd say a decent job, but not an outstanding job. But anyway, this should, you know, so if I could do it, you could probably do it too. Leave some health potions. Once you get to the stages where they combine the archers and the infantry, that's when it gets really hard. That's when shizzle hits the fizzle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So save them for later, because in my opinion, waves 16 to 20, the last couple of waves are not as hard as waves, I would say, probably 10 to 15. Those are the hardest waves, especially 12 and 13. I've died about 10 times today on wave 12, and it was humiliating. It was heartbreaking. Yeah. Of course, you could put cheats on and play this, but really it's not as satisfying as completing it without cheats on, and that's why you're here, to watch me do this. And this one is still manageable. You have some shielded dicks. Use this attack a lot. It helps. I kind of do a hit and run, let them come to you, play a little defensively, and believe it or not, you want to play a little aggressively with these guys. If you just hit parry all the time and you try to bane move them, that's not a good strategy, okay? Because after you complete the bane move, you are vulnerable, especially in wave 11 and wave 12 and 13, okay? You will die if you decide to try to bane move everybody. And it might be possible to do it, but I don't recommend doing it. There's just too many enemies coming at you at once. And here, you know, I'm just trying to be a bit aggressive. I'm actually fighting them. I'm not trying to bane move them. There are good times to bane move them, and not during these waves, in my opinion. Okay? So fight them. Fight them like a man. Or fight them like Eowyn. Or Galadriel. Actually, the chicks of Middle-earth are pretty badass. They're pretty much fearless. Yeah. I know. Anyways, the Fellowship is pretty sexist, though. It's pretty male-centric. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that too much. But, it'd be kind of cool to play as some different characters, too. Just saying. Here we have our first mix of archers and infantry. Yeah, so... again, this is why I pick Aragorn, because he could dispatch all the enemies quite easily. He's pretty powerful. I have tried Legolas and Gandalf, and maybe in the future I'll make a walkthrough, but Again, it just didn't work for me. Legolas was good at taking out archers, but when it comes to the infantry fights, he just got overwhelmed every time and died. So this is the same idea, infantry mixed with archers. Take them out, and you sometimes, another trick is to find an area within this tower at which the archers can't hit you. That's preferable. It is possible to find a nook or a cranny where they can't hit you. Okay, wave 12. This is just god-awful in my opinion. But again, don't let them get you into a corner and start hitting the parry button. I thought that would work. I would just bay move each one, and then once that's done, I would mop up the archers. No, you will get stun locked, and you will get defeated. Okay, occasionally I do 1 or 2 bay moves, but don't make that your only strategy. As long as you keep running, the archers or crossbowmen, Orokai or orcs or whatever will not hit you. Okay, as long as you keep moving, you will minimize the damage. Don't worry if you take a little bit of damage. That's why you've saved the health points. Okay, but make sure you also just want to take as little damage as possible. It sounds obvious, but really try to be aggressive and defensive at the same time. This fucker. Come on. Boom. Yeah. Try to be aggressive when you have to. Try to be defensive and when you should. Okay, here I see so many shields, and I know I have to get rid of them. So I charge my fire and just hold the fierce attack button and swipe at your enemies as they're in the range. In your range, where you can harm them. Definitely do it. It's okay to be a little aggressive. It's okay to, if you have enough health to spare, definitely do it. Definitely use your shield breaking combos if you can. And try to also aim. Try to find try to like time it so that you're hitting everything with all 3 hits. That's what I'm saying. And playing these games just really makes me want to rewatch the extended trilogy. They have definitely aged well. Not all movies do, but these are just masterpieces. I grew up watching them. I must have watched Fellowship a bajillion times. And then when the 2 Towers came out, I got the bootleg DVD, parts 1 and parts 2. Part 1 and 2. Baby! And here is a little tip. You want to try to do a swift justice against the enemies without the shield, and if possible, try to time your 4th hit in the 4-hit combo, right? So the 4th hit you have a glow, and that is able to take out a shield. Try to aim that 4th hit against a shield, so you end up breaking a shield. That's my recommendation. Okay, and then you won't have to worry about mashing so much. And again, there's a lot of enemies on screen, so another tip is try not to panic and mash too many buttons at once. This will confuse the game and confuse the input, and then sometimes the output would be unresponsive and you'll end up getting hit. The other tip do not use a killing move. When you use a killing move, or rather, you want to use a killing move when you have a window of opportunity. Okay, and the window of opportunity to do a killing move without getting hit is very, very small. All right, so if you try to do a killing move and an arrow hits you, it's just like a bad snowball effect. One arrow hits you, you get stunned, then you don't have time to recover, then before you know it, 2 or 3 arrows hit you, and then your health is down. And then before you know it, you get hit a few more times, you're dead. You have to start all the way over. And here's the first time I actually made it to wave 15, and I'm really happy. And I was thinking, all right, let's just focus on this. The next, I've made it this far. This is my personal best. This is good. Making improvements. It's interesting. I kill all these enemies. They drop arrows, but I don't need them. I'm not Legolas or Gandalf. They have way stronger projectiles. In Aragorn, I don't really use them. Aragorn and Gimli, worst projectiles. Well, not worse. Gimli definitely worse, but Aragorn's not that useful in this Palantir. So I have all these loose arrows. If anybody wants to spawn a Legolas there and let him shoot all these enemies, please, somehow, some way, let the Valor summon him. So the trick with some of this, when the enemies get bunched up, just tap the parry button and then tap Fierce Attack and then continue tapping the parry button, okay? So, eventually your character will kill everything. Alright, here's the last quarter of this Palantir. Not so bad. These guys, all you have to do is spam the speed attack button. And it gets easier because all of them, they're just walking health potions that attack you. Alright, so don't panic if you get hit a few times here or there. It's bound to happen here and then. But, they'll give you health. So, see? It actually gets easier from 16 to 20. And the hardest section is, in my opinion, it's 4 to 6 with the archers, and then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 with the mix of archers and infantry. Okay, this is a bit harder, so charge that. And this quarter, yeah, it takes a while to do. I'll be honest. It does take a while. But just try to break all of their shields first, and then hurt them. Because if you don't break all of their shields, you'll end up not being able to hurt them, right? Then your attacks just get blocked. But again, take your time, really. Don't panic too much. Use Helm's Hammer, fierce, 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 followed by speed, speed, speed with a swift justice to finish them off like that. It should feel like a cruise at this point. Low stress. Even if they hurt you, they all drop health. Keep in mind there's like 6 of them, right? So that's 6 health potions. And that's fantastic. And then you get a new health potion for the next. Yeah, exactly. So each new wave you get a health potion, and each 5 waves you get some arrows, but they're pretty irrelevant. Okay, the troll. Don't be afraid. He does look a bit scary. If you can, try to take him out, and his health is pretty low compared to these guys, honestly. So take that guy out. And yeah, you could get to perfect mode pretty easily. Just parry or use your special ability, then you'll basically be able to get to perfect mode in 1 to 2 seconds. Take out the troll, now the troll won't bother you, and then this is just pretty much just like the previous missions. And again, if you could do it with the Urukai, if you could do a Swift Justice and land a 4th blow on an Easterling, it can damage their armor. Okay, you could do it that way. Or you could just kill the Urukai first and then deal with the Easterlings later. Not much to say about the strategy there. And if your health is low, try to parry, you know, especially when the Easterlings are charging. But yeah, plenty of health, more than enough for me. So again, here, you know, I'm getting more and more confident, and I thought, okay, this should be okay. I should be able to make it. This is the same idea, just a little bit harder. And sometimes you get the tiny Urukai with the giant sword, which is comical, but he can tackle you down despite being tiny. This game is so fun, and so the replay value is fantastic, despite the campaign being quite short. You know, you could really, if you spend one afternoon on the weekend, you could beat the whole game. At least you could beat it. You could kill Gollum, right? You might not beat this in a day, but yeah, it's really fun to replay everything, and try different characters, and see if you could find different ways to kill them. It doesn't try to overdo things, you know. It keeps the combat systems pretty good. It's not too complex, not too simple. It's just right, you know. And the game doesn't try to do something. It doesn't try to do things that it's it kind of they. Oh man, I'm stuttering. You know what I mean? It just does. It keeps it in its niche, and it does it beautifully. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes these guys don't have health bars, and it's a bit of a glitch, but rest assured you could still kill them. They still bleed, as Batman would say. Games nowadays, they like. I guess what I'm trying to say is like games like Grand Theft Auto. They try to be like every single game. They try to be a sports game, a racing game, a heist game, an action game, a shooter. You know, all this. That troll just teleported. That was weird. Anyway, here I'm trying to kind of kill the troll first. Yeah, it's a bit hectic. But if you can kill the trolls first, that'd be good, okay? Otherwise, they really just, they trample you and they knock you over, and that makes killing the other guys impossible. Don't worry too much about the archers. There's not that many of them, thank goodness. They just sprinkle in a few to kind of fuck with you, but they don't really hit you, with all the enemies kind of acting as meat shields. And one thing that's kind of upsetting is that when the enemy shoots an arrow, they don't at another enemy, they don't take any damage. They just flinch. I guess, you know, that if they did take damage, then it wouldn't be fair. Then you could just hit parry, and then they would just kill each other, kill themselves. I guess that's why they negated that damage and put friendly fire on for the enemy team. It gets a bit hectic in this round, but you know, I wasn't too worried. I thought, you know, as soon as I kill one of these champions, they'll drop the health. So I'm in the green the whole time. I'm okay. Even if I'm in the yellow, and even if I'm in the red, I'll be okay, as long as I have some enemies left with health potions. You just don't want to be too reckless when you're in the red. And if you're in the blinking red for the health, that's when you got to be a little bit. That's when you got to be quite careful. There we go, finally. Down to 2 archers. This last archer. Oh, yeah, 3 archers. Okay, 1 got killed off screen. 1 archer. Screw you! Final judgment for the final enemy. Alright guys, thanks for watching. And please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a dislike. Hey, it'll just get more attention. But yeah, thanks so much. This was fun. I enjoyed making these videos for you. And stay tuned. There'll be more. Bye now.